It's a great pleasure to be here in this part of the state of Tamil Nadu. I vividly remember my days of 10th standard, where we used to get Brothers Union paper from Palai Boarding. I don't know who sets the paper. I think the faculty is here.
I'm working with them.
Working with them, right. So what we used to do is, we used to be afraid of those exams. And whenever I used to come to Tirunelveli, that boldness is seen here, especially among the women and then, of course, men also. Let me talk about, I'm not going to be theoretical. What I do, I'm going to talk about it in the life skill education. Basically, you may think, what is there for this chartered accountant, cost accountant, company secretary, lawyer, chartered instrument management accountant, UK guy to talk about life skill education? I was earlier working in KPMG. And when I was working in KPMG, I observed a good practice in UK, which is called 14 to 18 year practice. And before 2 years, when I came out from KPMG, I thought of doing something to the society. At that point of time, I closely worked with the Surinese Dalai Lama. I met him. My interview is there on YouTube. You can go and watch a personal interview. He said, "You are one of the powerful youth in this nation. You have the power to transform the next generation." And then when I was coming back from Dharamshala to Chennai, I thought about a social venture which I started called Vivekananda Institute of Leadership and Governance, dedicated to Swami Vivekananda. Using that, I started doing this social engineering work in Tamil Nadu. I thought of working, collaborating with some of the social transformers in Tamil Nadu. At that point of time, I identified a great transformer, Mr. Nallarvattam Balu. Mr. Nallarvattam Balu runs a small tea shop in Kodambagam. And this man was transforming a small place, small government school in Kodambagam. I went and observed the best practices, what he is doing. Many people know about Nallarvattam Balu. This is a close friend of Abdul Kalam. And Abdul Kalam visited the tea shop for information and spoke about Nallarvattam Balu in US for 1.5 hours in Lead India 2020 meeting. And this person, I got really inspired because he used to go to the government school, give 100 questions to the government school, identify the talents of the kids. He had his own parameters. He said only students who get more than 80% is eligible to participate in this program called Manika Manavar. To put it in English, it is called Ruby student, identification of Ruby students. And that more than 80% students. Why 80%? I'll tell you at the end. And these students will come together, one meeting will be organized, 100 questions will be given to these kids, one-day program. Using that, we started identifying the strength. Now, why we should identify strength in this nation? We are all talking about some of the advanced ideas in this conference. Let me tell you, in this nation, only 20% of the people go to the higher education. Only 20%. Rest of the 80% drop out in the school level itself. And we don't have a solution for these kids. And nobody is concerned about these kids. And we all think everybody is getting educated and are successful. We are only thinking about the private school. And this 80% of the kids don't even know what to do in life. And they'll drop and society thinks as a burden. And these are the people who become anti-nationalists. These are the people who create problems in the society. These are the people who don't know how to become an entrepreneur, stand on their own legs. And now, I spoke about the strength. When we go to the school, when we identify, when we speak to the kids and give the matrix, automatically we are able to identify the strength. That strength is a skill of every student. And that skill, we award them. And when we give the award, you may think, how does an award change the student's life? And what is that award we are giving? Many people are giving award these days. But this award, what we give, brings consciousness of a life skill to that student. What is that consciousness? Consciousness about the society. Consciousness about his own uniqueness. Consciousness about his goodness, what he should do to society. And apart from this, the excellence in education. These are the 4 pillars. This is the award which we give to the student. This is the award which we give to the student, government school student. You may think it's a small award, but for a government school kid, it is a big recognition. Today, what is lacking in this country for bringing life skill is not introducing curriculum in the school, but bringing consciousness and getting out the dignity from the individual. When we give this award, this is the first award this kid gets from the government school. From third person. And this kid takes and he is conscious about it. And we don't let the kids go away with that. What we do is, we make the kids to come for an award ceremony. We orient them in the morning for about 6 hours. Why are they getting this award? How are they getting this award? What is it they should do in society? And afternoon we call their parents. And parents has to be there while getting the award. And for this award ceremony, we call the IPS officer or income tax official who have achieved from that place. He comes and orients the students. Most preferably we prefer police officers to come and talk about life skill. Because the students feel privileged and they feel important that this they have to award. What do they do? After they get the award, they have to do one good thing in their home. When I say good thing, it could be a prayer. It could be cleaning, helping their mother to clean the floor. It could be arranging the books. It could be washing his own clothes. Some good thing they should do. One good thing they should do at home. 2, immediately, and what is the next thing that a student does? He is in the home, then he goes to the school. In the school, he should do one good thing. That could be when a student suffers because of health reasons, he can write notes for him, or he can help out people who are deprived, people who are not having a learning ability, can go and coach. These are some of the tasks the student will take up. And the third pillar that we give him is his own street. He has to take one responsibility. What is the responsibility that he can take in the street? He can go to every house, say that please put the garbage, that whatever garbage in red color box, plastic garbage in red color box, other garbage is vegetable waste in the green color box. Like this, they should think what they can do in their own street. Now you know what has happened. This program was running for the past 6 years. When I got into this project started expanding. First around Chennai. Today we have completed in 9 districts of Tamil Nadu, and more than 900 Manika Manavargal are our alumni. And these people are emerging as leaders. Let me tell you, these people are emerging as leaders. I will tell you 2 case studies and you will understand how they are emerging as leaders. These are live case studies and these people are transforming their locality. So what happened, what we used to do is, let's assume we didn't come to Tirunelveli yet, went to Kadalur, we went to Perambalur, we went to Kanchipuram, all these places. Let's assume, take examples, Kadalur. We went to Kadalur, we did program in all the government schools. Our team will go and van, get down, go to the government school, go and talk to them about the values, and then they give this 100 questions. And then they will get the feedback from the students and give the award. That award ceremony will be organized in the college. In that award ceremony, we orient, which I told you. After this, these kids are given responsibility. There is a tremendous change in these kids, and these kids have become contributors to the society. Let me tell you on how they have become. 2 examples. We went to Kadalur and we did this 100 question program. We identified one student. Her name is Devi. I forgot her full name. Her name is Devi. She actually had a unique talent of yoga. And she was saying, sir, whenever I talk about yoga at home, my parents used to say, it's no use at all. You go and study, you go and get marks. See, that Anna is getting this, Akka is getting that, Anna is qualified, that Anna is going for a degree, and your brother has done this. So they always equated with someone. They never saw the skill. And this girl, Devi, was given award for yoga skill because we identified that skill was there. That was a strength. And how she can become a contributor? That's the next question, right? As a life skill, right? How she can become a contributor? Now this girl started teaching yoga in the government school itself for teachers, for students. And now our classes are demanded. It's been 8 months. Our classes are demanded by the locals at Kadalur. And you should see the video of her yoga. One of the best yogas she does. She's innovating yogasanas now. Reading books, getting books, and looking at some of the best yogas. And now she has become a contributor to Kadalur itself. My dear friends, why am I talking about it? Let's assume this girl pursues only a formal education. Probably she'll end up with a degree. Or she may go for a job like a robo. Morning bus. What is happening with engineering graduates? Qualify engineering. Go and join MNC company, morning 6:30 bus will come, then put a tag like a dog, go to the job, work and come back and do nothing in life. At 55 years you will regret something I should have done in my life. And you will tell us, sit, you should do something on your own. And this is the kind of a cycle we have, life cycle we have. Here is a girl who is now coaching yoga and she might become yoga-preneur. And you don't even know, she might represent in UN, in the International Yoga Day in the future. We just identified. And she's become contributor to her home. She is teaching yoga for her parents. She is teaching yoga for the street. She is teaching yoga for the school. This is what is life skill. You cannot preach that in PowerPoint presentations. We cannot say how to live every day. They have to experiment. Only through trial and error, through compassion. Most important thing what we should have is compassion. If you develop compassion, automatically life skills will evolve. What is lacking today among the students is lack of compassion. They don't just feel for anyone. I was just lecturing in one of the international school. I asked that kid, well, I just asked one question. There is someone on the platform who is badly hit by an accident. What will you do? He said, I will watch. He was honest. The student was honest. I will watch. I will move on. I asked why. Sir, police case will happen. My name will be listed. My parents will scold me. And he was realistic. And you tell me, the entire purpose of education was to bring compassion. Without education, you would have helped that kid, helped that person. But with the education, he is now thinking on the wrong direction, which is not useful to humanity. What is the message I am driving here is, let's build compassion. Ma'am was talking about happiness. Happiness plus compassion. When you create happiness, compassion will automatically come. When you create compassion, happiness will automatically come. And both will happen, dignity of the human being will come in. And that's what we are trying to do. Apart from this, what we have done is, out of this 900 students, we have picked up 100 students, conducted a camp for 5 days, talking about the nation, talking about how they can become leaders, and and from that bunch of best students, we select 100 best students, coach them for 5 days about all these areas, talk about the history of India, and talk about our system of governance in the country. Today we are all breaking our head. Whose responsibility is to bring the transformation of the education? It is the responsibility of the government. Why the government is in mess? Not just because of the politician, but because of the bureaucrats. It's because of the bureaucrats. They lack compassion. They didn't know what to do. They don't know. You go and speak to the education department of both state government and central government. They see it as a job, but it is a life for the students. And these things can be changed only we work on the vision. And these government school students, we bring them 100 people together. We call IAS officers. We call actresses. We call some of the top popular people to come and address these kids whom they have never even imagined. And when they see those people, they get energized. And then we are now, this year is the year we implemented this idea. We are now going to take this 100 people from the government schools representing different segments of the parts of Tamil Nadu to go and meet the governor. Take them to visit the assembly, state assembly of Tamil Nadu. We are also planning a program called Delhi Salvo for showing the parliament in Delhi. Why are we doing this? Showing them the higher goals, the higher purpose of life. It is the mistake of the education system that we never give the higher purpose in life. If you give higher purpose in life, seed them with higher thoughts, life skill will automatically come. Today what has happened? The best of the educated has created the best of the nuclear family. Now what is happening? In the nuclear family, single mother, single father. You go and check your students who are in 11th standard, 12th standard. Most of them are now suffering with the syndrome of single mother and single father. This problem is existing. And with this, you cannot expect life skills to build because they are already frustrated. The students are already frustrated. We need to create a conducive environment. All the students today who come under the formal education is only literate. They are not educated. They are only literate. What is in the education? Education is the manifestation of perfection already within. That's what Swami Vivekananda said. It's already within. All the knowledge is within. Only we need to bring that consciousness. If you bring that consciousness, automatically life skill will happen. In fact, the essence of education itself is a life skill. Today, engineering graduates are saying, I am not able to get a job. Why should an engineer get a job in a developing nation? If he looks around, there is a problem. Drainage is a problem. Railway station facilities are a problem. Everywhere there is a problem. But an engineer says there is no job. Can you imagine? In a developing nation, if you talk about Singapore, engineer can very well say there is no job. If you talk about developing nation, it's okay. But in a developing nation, there are so much things to do that with 130 crore population, when Americans are coming here, when people from UK coming here to establish business, sell their product, Uber is a company from foreign country. Somebody replicated called Ola, and they are able to do business here. Why can't we make our kids to think unique way or bring innovations? It is lacking because self-confidence is lacking. This is because their life skills are not given as a part of their consciousness, I would say. If you bring that, automatically compassion. Life skill will give compassion. If they work on compassion, or happiness will always come. This is the equation. When you imbibe life skills, bring consciousness about life skills, automatically compassion will come. If compassion comes, happiness will come. Because he works on the compassion, he feels happy. When happiness comes, he will do something for the nation. And this is what is the equation of development. And education is the most important thing for which we need to invest our time. See, look at the teacher situation itself. In US, most of it, what happens when they get the gold medal from the university, they become professor. And if they are not fit to be a professor only, they need to become an entrepreneur. If they are not fit for both only, they become employee. Come to Indian scenario. You get the best of the marks, you go to the best of the companies to work. Employee. First is employee. If he has arrears, probably he is thinking to become entrepreneur. Both, after some time he clears arrears, then he will join as a professor or a teacher in the same school where he is studying. And this cannot be the scenario. So teaching community is the most deviant community for which remuneration as well as the facilities, skill development should continuously happen. My message to CII, more than conducting a conference, we should conduct a learning conference about the latest development of technology, or examples and case studies which they can go and connect. Primary, Mr. Kishore was mentioning in the right way, the primary school education, then high school and higher secondary. Segregate the teachers, conduct some programs to orient them about what is the latest development in technology, what are the problems of the society. We should speak about problem. Today, a school kid in an international school, the teachers are worried to be in Facebook. If a teacher goes to a marriage and posts a photograph, the kid from the international school takes that photograph, trolls her for 5 days. And teachers have gone out from Facebook. And that's what the kids want. Please understand. Why did they troll the teacher? Because they don't want the teacher to be in the Facebook, because they are looking at which kid is connecting to which kid. Is this the job for him to do? Again, life skill is a problem here. Please understand. Why is this kid doing all this thing? He feels frustrated with you. In fact, in the video when they showed, look at the way we should bring it when the students enter the school, you have to greet them. Most of them, we are all frustrated. Home frustration at school, school frustration at home. Student is not coming, the full day gone for the student in the school. This thing should not happen. We are the man-making process. We are the man-making process, especially in the state of Tamil Nadu. Whatever problem we have, that can only be rectified by igniting the young minds with the life skills. That's very, very important. Today, engineering graduate, I was just in one of the engineering college, and I was interacting with a mechanical engineer, and especially the automobile engineer. I was just asking him, if we conclude in 2 minutes, I asked him, you are studying mechanical engineer, now you are automobile engineer, you are going by Pulsar. Pulsar stops, what will you do? He said, I will call mechanic. I said, you are a mechanical engineer. Then he came civil engineer. I said that you have become civil engineer. Do you know construct out small wall? He said, not constructing the wall only, I became civil engineer. That is mason's job. And third, electrical electronic is very interesting. I asked him, you are in home, a tube light, a fuse goes away, and tube light has to be changed. What will you do? I call the electrician. This is the state of education. And this is not the education what we wanted. This is the education to create robots. What will stand with the kid today is a life skill which will be useful for the place where he works. If he manages company or if he works in a corporate, that is what is going to help. And managing the family itself, life skill is important. Right? Go to Tirupur, people who are uneducated provide employment to educated. Tirupur is a place where 40,000 crore business is happening. And 33% of the entrepreneurs did not even cross 6th standard. And they are all doing international business. And if you go to IIM, which is an institution for national importance, if you ask them what do you want to do, they will say I want to become an investment banker. They don't even know what it is. Everybody wants to become an investment banker. They don't even know what is that, not much information. But here is a man who started with nothing, create something. They are fully educated, they know how to manage a business, but they never get into the business. So this people who are into the field, people who know the life skills, who learn through hardships, are much better prepared for this nation and for the world than the people who are sitting in the AC room discussing and debating. I want this consciousness to go to the kids. The kids will be imperfect only, I am telling you today. All the 60 students who are coming to cannot be first rank. They are not mark-bending machines. Everybody will be with the different marks. Some people will fail, some people will not perform. Managing them is our duty. But the pathetic situation is, parents feel school is a parking lot. Right? They don't give any skills, life skills. They want the teachers to shape them. In this situation, life skill first has to be, we need to be conscious about the life skill which we should enact and show to the students. And life skill cannot be taught in the school. It has to be completely brought, showcased by the teachers in their way of life. If you could do that with a case study, definitely students will come up with that life skill and they will lead their life in a proper way. They are going to be the nation builder. And thank you for the wonderful opportunity. I'm sure people with the life skill will create their own destiny, as said by Swami Vivekananda. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Sathya. I enjoyed this last